Most High Christ, we live in the building. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under commanding General Yohana. We've been teaching this truth since 1969 that the so-called blacks, Hispanics are in fact the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? But of course, tonight is the 1 West News Desk. You understand, bringing all your local, your national, and your international news to your timeline. I know it's full of Jay-Z and what else is in the news? You know, a bunch of trash, a bunch of propaganda and distractions from, you know, from what we should be, focusing on and observing or what have you. But a lot's still going on in Europe. The wars are still continuing, although, and Donald Trump lied in that Meet the Press interview too, talking about he didn't say no more wars. So we'll probably pull that clip too. It's a lot. It's a lot to cover. It's a lot in the news. So we'll get into it. But I really want to get into this here Social Security story. Donald Trump and his team tried to void millions of eligible people for Social Security based off of their race, based off their race. They wanted to cut them off, even though they were eligible. We talking about people that was possible retirement, possible disabled brothers and sisters. He wanted to cut those funds off, even though they're eligible. This bastard, man. How cruel can you be? You got this thing here set up for people that are that rely on these funds to survive. America set this fund up just for people just like that. It'll be no thing. It's a part of the taxes or what have you. But he's such a greedy. He's such a devil. Him and his team, him and his cabinet, along with several other people that feel that way. They want to go in and give the Social Security death certificates to terminate these brothers and sisters funds. How wicked and disgusting is that, man? Let's pull an article on this, and then get some coverage on this. I'm gonna share this screen here. I'm gonna share this with y'all. It's been all over. I mean, I want to say all over. It has been suppressed since, but this is a number here that they try to pull on you. They try to pull a fast one real quick. You understand? Y'all bear with me once. Put this here side by side real quick. Let me make sure this right. I'm gonna pull this up a little bit more so y'all can see. But this is the SSI social security story here. Bear with me. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. Long credits to everybody checking on. Make sure y'all hit that like and then subscribe if you haven't already. It's a bunch of people online right now. Trying to get this studio right. Excuse me. We're gonna get a little bit more on the story here. Let's get into it. Social Security tried to assign fake death dates to 2.7 million people. Whistleblower. A whistleblower has come forward to Congress alleging the Social Security Administration tried to assign fake death dates to 2.7 million people living in the United States as a way to get immigrants to self-deport. And they calling them immigrants to diminish their value. Understand? These are people that are 100% eligible for those funds. The former Social Security employee, Jeremiah Schofield, said the Department of Government Efficiency, and run by billionaire Trump supporter Elon Musk, successfully pushed the agency to assign death dates to 6,000 people. Also alleged the Department of Security asked the agency to mark an additional 2.7 million people as dead. Assign and move to the death master found me immediately losing access to bank accounts, health insurance, and credit cards. It can also mean mortgages are canceled, legal immigration status is revoked, and American citizens lose their right to vote. This slimy, strategic, backdoor way to ruin brothers and sisters' lives for what? For no, it's names. You just hate black people so much, that you gotta ruin their lives anything that you get here. Brothers and sisters eligible for this, working all their life. Brothers and sisters on disability, fixed incomes, other government-assisted programs or what have you. You want to cut them off for what? This isn't for national security. This is just pure hate. And they say that here in the Israelite school, UPK is a hate group. They say here in the Israelite school, UPK is a hate group. When you cutting your bread off? When you cut your braid off at all? But Donald Trump, brothers and sisters suffer. Let's get some more on this, man. Bear with me 1 second. The Social Security Administration said in a statement to USA Today that it did not add a list of 2.7 million names to the Death Master file. SSA maintains the highest level of internal controls. This includes having all appropriate policies and procedures in place to maintain the integrity and accuracy of agency records. Details of the allegations were confirmed by Schofield's attorney. Schofield worked with the agency for 25 years and helped lead IT modernization efforts. He does not know if the 2.7 million people were ultimately marked as dead. Jeremiah witnessed Trump administration officials admit that they were deliberately targeting people who they had no reason to believe were in fact dead in order to remove them from the Social Security rolls and ultimately from the country, said Deborah S. Katz, on the attorneys representing Schofield. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts and Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut sent a letter to Social Security Administration Commissioner Frank Bizigno and 3 former Doge employees June 6, outlining the allegations and asking for more information. How cruel can you get, y'all? This bastard, man. I'm gonna take this down off the screen real quick. Let me explain something to you real quick here. I'm having some trouble up here with this studio. But let me explain something here. Gotta add this back to the stage. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe too, y'all. We're gonna get a little bit more on this. Y'all bear with me 1 second. I gotta add this to the stage one time. So I can get in here. I might have to refresh this here. All right, there we back. Are we back loud? Salaki on that. But recognize and understand this. Donald Trump, his team, his cabinet, the oppressor in general. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's on full blown attack mode and trying to disrupt our lives as much as he can. So much so to try to find a back way, a back doorway to terminate eligible people on Social Security and try to eliminate their access. When they have a right to those funds. They have a right to those funds. But Donald Trump is so wicked and cruel, yo. The oppressor in general is so wicked and cruel. He doesn't even have he lacks so much morality and empathy that he's marking people with disabilities, veterans, U.S. citizens, targeting them because he doesn't like them because of their race. This has nothing to do with securing the country. This has nothing to do with keeping people safe. It has everything to do with the oppressor being a terror and a monster unto another people. It's in their DNA. It's in their DNA. They can't help but to be cruel. They can't help but we're talking about an actual billionaire here, making sure that people with little suffer. A billionaire. You would think after all your success, all your money, you'll kick your feet up, but you out here making sure people suffer. That's how much hate the oppressor has for blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. Surely the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me real quick, man. Let's get these numbers up. I see a lot of y'all on Facebook, a lot of y'all on YouTube. Hit that like button. See these comments coming in. You understand? Got a lot of y'all on YouTube, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. A lot of y'all on X, Twitter, what have you. Hit that like button. Hit that share. You understand? Yeah, man. This is their nature. Let me pull the end of this article, and then we'll move on here. Schofield, according to their letter, alleged a Dole staff said the lives of these individuals would be ruined. They knew exactly what they was doing. They knew exactly what they was doing. They know exactly how cruel. We can understand and comprehend their intent was to be cruel, and they would be driven to self-deport, or they would have to go to a local Social Security office. At which point, SSA field office staff would send them to DHS offices, where officials would detain them for deportation. According to Schofield's disclosure, a sample test of just 25 of the 2.7 million names he was asked to mark as dead found that the majority were either U.S. citizens or lawful permanent residents. Surely the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Let me stop sharing this article here. But yeah, man, there you have it, man. Clear as day. Caught ran it. Now, will anybody get persecuted? No. Will anybody get, brought forth to Congress and questioned? No. You talking about literally harming U.S. citizens, Donald Trump's cabinet. You're harming permanent residents, Donald Trump cabinet, Donald Trump supporters. But you're such a cruel bastard. You have zero empathy. They don't have the ability to comprehend what it means to be moral and upright and just. They don't have that capability. That's why time and time again, we always saying what? In 2026, we still going through this. 2026 is still racism. 2020, whatever year is going to come, we make it to or what have you. We'll be still saying the same thing. Why? Because war is always in his heart. Destruction and, immorality, is in his heart. Is in his DNA. What's the saying? You can't change a tiger's stripes or what have you. There's no change. There's no change in this beast. There's no change in this bastard, man. Let's get some more here, man. Time and time again in the news, what do we see? Oh, we're so close to a deal. We're so close to a deal. We're getting close to a deal. The street's going to be open. This is what Donald Trump says every day. We hear it every day. The propaganda, what have you, the lies. You know what I'm saying? He's a horrible negotiator. I don't know what do they expect for that to happen. And then Donald Trump said in his meeting that him and Benjamin Netanyahu, they're on the same page. Clearly not. Clearly not. When you got a ceasefire, Iran saying, listen, stop attacking Lebanon or we're going to attack you. There you go, Benjamin Netanyahu, still going ham. Still going ham on Lebanon. So what happens, man? They retaliate. What do you expect? Let me get there. They got some live updates now. This early as 20 minutes ago. But let's get the strikes though. I'm gonna share this real quick on the screen. After trading missile fire, Israel and Iran pulled back for now. You got some fake ceasefires coming downhill. Tel Aviv, Israel, and Iran both pledged Monday to stop attacking each other. A move that came only hours after they exchanged missile fire and retreated up tensions throughout the Middle East. However, even as they made public pronouncements to de-escalate, both countries cited conditions that they could lead to resumption of hostilities. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in a video that Israel's fire against Iran is on hold, but he added, should the Iranian terror regime make the mistake of returning to attack us, we will respond with force because Israel has every right to defend itself. How long have we been hearing that madness? Also, Israel Defense Minister Israel Katz said troops would continue to operate in Lebanon against the militant group Hezbollah. Meanwhile, Iran cited Israelis' operations against Hezbollah as the reason it unleashed a missile barrage on Israel, as I just mentioned before this. First on Sunday night and again on Monday morning, Iran military said it was halting further attacks for now, saying Israel had learned its lesson. And they're like some goddamn teenagers, you know. I'm gonna pull this down here real quick, y'all. Let me explain something to you. Everything we're seeing in the news is a bunch of theatrics, yo. It's a bunch of theatrics. And what you might ask yourself, why would he say something like that? Why is he calling it this such a terrible thing that's happening in the earth theater? Because they're lying to you. How you talking about it's a ceasefire, but you're still attacking Lebanon? And the reason Iran sent the missiles down into Israel is because you're attacking Lebanon, dum. Come on, yo. Don't get caught up in the propaganda, yo. They said the same thing about what? Gaza. Ceasefire. Oh, we're in talks. Gaza, there's no more Gaza. There's hold up. There's no more Gaza. There's no. They said I'm hearing reports. They didn't unalive all the reporters. They didn't level Gaza, brought the bulldozers in, and ready to set up shop, or what have you. And story after story, time and time again, we see Israeli forces beating down on Palestinians. This is their nature, yo. This is the nature. He's just a cruel bastard. They have plans to just take these lies about a ceasefire and trying to come to a deal is not going to happen. You should play all these betting apps. You should bet your money on that. This war ain't stopping. The war is in his heart. War is in this white man's heart, yo. He can't get over himself. He doesn't. There's no talking to. Hold on, real quick. There's no peace talks with this devil, yo. There's no peace talks with this devil. Everywhere he goes into and tries to negotiate a deal, a ceasefire, a treaty, he always backs out. This has been his character since his existence. This bastard, nah, since his existence. He's incapable of being just. He's incapable of having any type of morality. He's incapable of having any type of empathy. He's incapable of, being just. That's his nature. So everybody up in arms. Everybody up in arms about Iran retaliating. They just want Iran to lay down and not fight them back. Like, what in the hell is? Don't Iran have doesn't matter of fact, doesn't everybody have a right to defend themselves? Benjamin Netanyahu, Donald Trump, or anybody that says that phrase. So doesn't everybody have a right to defend themselves? Or is it only white people? Only white people get to defend themselves. Is that the case? You better wake the hell up, man. You better absolutely sever from this place before it get level. And be thinking this like this war is not going to de-escalate. You may like seem like it's going to be a break or a pause or something going to get signed or something going to get passed. But the white man, the oppressor, you know, he got plans to level that place, yo. And he ain't backing down. He been raised up, just like Pharaoh was raised up to, to continue in his wickedness. We haven't seen leadership this arrogant in a very, very long time. And we haven't seen people, a leadership, a cabinet, an office this arrogant in a very, very long time. It's the perfect show. It's the perfect show for the end of the world. It simply is. A couple of things I want to touch on tonight. Of course, everything you see in the title. Iran. What else I put in there? Social Security thing. What else? Meet the press. But after those top stories, I definitely want to go into that young man that was murdered by Moab, either Moab or Ammon, Asian man, nonetheless. But gotta cover that. Gotta cover that. But let's get this story here out of. Maybe I can get a video. I can pull it up. Donald Trump won't meet the press. He's such a goddamn. He's not a professional at all. Let me see if I can get this here. We got some clips here. See if I can pull this up on. I had to the stage real quick.
Sustainable for them. They have an economy that's shot in addition to everything else. Their leaders are gone. Their generals are gone. Their first tier and second tier are gone. Much of their third tier is gone. But they put up a blockade, and so we blockaded them, and we have the ultimate blockade. I don't consider that a war, but if you want to define it as such, I guess you can.
Well, how do you do?
It is a war, and also this. The clock is going down because he got a 60 days. Hold on, 60-day. Hold on. I'm gonna get into the power resolution, 1973 War Power Resolution Act or what have you. I'm gonna get into this in a second.
I don't define it at all. I don't think about it. I just do what I have to do.
What would trigger you to restart military action? Would it be Iran killing more American citizens?
Well, certainly that would be something that I would think about very seriously. But my line, I think I wasn't going to make a deal, or I wasn't going to make a deal fast enough. So we're having very good negotiations with the people that are leading the country now. It's the third group that we've been dealing with, and they are different. And you could say it's regime change, actually, because these are very different people. I find them to be more rational, very smart.
But if they're so desperate, Mr. President, why haven't they said yes to the terms you're proposing?
Strong, they're proud. There are things they never thought they'd be doing that they're going to have to do. They've got no choice.
He rambles on about, I mean, as he always been rambling on about, negotiations or what have you. It's a straight up lie. They prolonging this thing, man. They letting this thing drag out. They getting their money. His rich friends is getting their money. All of the insider trading or what have you. But this interview here, it goes off the rails. And he lies, straight up lies in the interview. He said he never said there would be no more wars. He said a lot of things, but this here is just a short video, some clips here though.
And it takes a little while. You're talking about 47 years of getting away with whatever they wanted. I mean, this should have been done long ago. This should have been done by other presidents or other countries. It doesn't have to be us, other countries. But they were very close to having a nuclear weapon twice. That was when I terminated the Iran nuclear deal, which was a path. That deal, the JCPOA, that deal was tantamount to giving them a nuclear weapon. It was a horrible deal given by Barack Obama and really penned by him. It was a horrible deal. It was, it expired long ago. I terminated it, but had I not terminated it.
And mind you, this, he's trying to bring up the same exact deal. He's trying to bring it back, but he's trying to put a new label on it. That's all he's trying to do. He's gonna talk his junk though. Go ahead.
It expired long ago. It was a short-term deal. It was a road to a nuclear weapon.
After this month's jobs report, economists now say it's possible the Fed may have to raise rates. Do you think that's possible? And what would your reaction be, sir?
So I'm of a different feeling. I think Kevin's fantastic, and I want him to do whatever he wants. I don't want to be the opposite way. If you go back 15 or 20 years, when you had good reports, the market went up. The country becomes great. We should actually lower interest rates. We could build this into the greatest machine that the world has ever seen. But you can't do that when everybody immediately raises interest rates. So we had great job numbers. We're doing great. We're building more factories. We have more money coming into our country right now from other countries and people than ever before. Wait a minute. What happens? I don't want to just kill it with high interest rates. Growth is the greatest thing you can have. And growth does not cause inflation.
Are you backing off the fund completely, as your acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has said, or are you looking for another avenue to revive the fund?
Let me explain what the fund is. People have been hurt so badly by
He talking about funding them cats. He talking about funding them cats that stormed the Capitol. He trying to get that approved, and it's getting messy. But he's not really being transparent like that.
Lunatics that worked for the Biden administration and Sleepy Joe. They're vicious, they're violent, what they did to people. And of course, they went after me more than anybody else. They raided Mar-a-Lago and all the other things. But people have been badly hurt. They've committed suicide. They've lost their jobs. They've lost their families. They've lost their wives. They've lost everything. They've lost everything over a fake weaponization of government. Now,
here's the thing, too. Let me explain something real fast here. White people and or the oppressor, right? They always play the blame game. They want to be like General Hyman was saying the other day. They want to be the oppressor and the victim. You're not a victim. You have the upper hand in this age and society. And you want to be the victim so bad. You want to have all the attention and all the praise so bad that you try to change the education system so you can't teach about slavery. You can't teach about the crimes of white people. You can't teach about the Trail of Tears. You got to call slavery the African American migration. They want to be a victim. They're such a child at heart. We can't see it because they're old and they got a suit on and they got a red tie. But it's like a child fake crying after they didn't threw something across the room and don't want to get a beating, so they start crying or something. It's childish. The people at January 6th are not victims of anything. They were criminals. They committed a horrible act, a crime, and that's that. Nobody's targeting them, and they should lose their job because they committed a crime. They want to be a victim so bad, man. White folk, the president, they don't know what it means to be a victim. And they're so childish and attention seeking and narcissistic that they'll create this propaganda like they're under attack. Nobody's attacking you. They're in their mind saying that, recognizing and bringing up the crimes of the oppressor as an attack on them and their national or their being. They can't. It's like they're like a woman. Well, most women, I won't say all women, but they're unable to. They're not capable of being accountable. It's a horrible character trait, man. Let's get a little bit more Donald Trump. And he storms out of this interview also eventually. I don't know if it's in
Are
it.
you looking for a way to revive it?
Well, look, if it was up to me, I'd pay them the kind of money that they deserve. People have been destroyed. Lives have been destroyed.
Nice.
The election was rigged.
That's what they
It
say.
was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President.
And here we go with another clip here. Speaking on the latest elections or what have you. And just like back then when Biden won, he accused the Democratic Party and people, at bay of cheating. And here we go with another tantrum, a sore loser.
Presented evidence
It's happening
that the
right now in
2020 election
California.
was rigged.
Right now, it's look at what's
Where's
happening
the
in
evidence
California.
to that?
It's
The
4
Republicans
days.
are doing well in
California. No, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close to coming up with.
That's how they.
You know why they're doing that? Because they're cheating on the election.
Do you have evidence
They're-
to support?
All I have to do is
That's
look,
not
and
evidence.
I listen to people, and let's see what happens.
But sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think it's
And
appropriate
That's how they
that they
count
ha-
the votes. In
Do you think it's
California.
appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere
Jesus,
close to
Ray.
picking a
State and
winner?
local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging the
crooked.
votes to be counted quickly. That's how they vote
They're
in
crooked,
California.
just like you're crooked.
Yeah, he goes on about ABC being crooked and other other uh platforms being wicked or what have you. Hey, shalom, Batat. I see you in the chat. Shalom, Sister Marwa. I see you in the chat, man. But he is, watching him and watching all these political folk, go back and forth and it's like we know here in the truth they don't have the ability to create this utopia that they believe in. We understand that. We understand they don't have the ability to create this their so-called perfect world where everybody's coming together, everybody has morality. They can't produce that. All right, they can't. Their idea of democracy, their idea of freedom and liberation is unattainable. Why is that? Because the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's why. That's why there's always back and forth, and this back and forth battle with who's the right fit for the head of America, who's the right fit to be in the White House, who's the right fit for this governor, this mayor. It's all a bunch of trash. It ain't going to be no actual morality, in the earth until black people take over under Christ. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And until there's a governing body under Christ that's going to get this world on track of, sustainability, of morality, of liberation and freedom and justice and all the things that the world needs, man. When we going to comprehend and understand that, though? Make sure y'all hit that like. Make sure y'all subscribe on here, man. We see y'all online. We see y'all on the YouTubes. We see y'all on the all over Twitter. We see y'all. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for me, man. And yeah, man. Donald Trump. It's a trip. But let's get into this. I told you I wanted to go in this story a little bit before I go into the class, the scripture breakdown class. I'm not doing history. I'm doing scripture breakdown tonight at 7:30. But I want to go a little bit into the story. Bear with me. Let's get this about the store owner that killed the young boy. Tragic news, y'all. Murtaza Akara checking in from VA. Most High Christ, huh? Yeah, a couple people checked in. Trooper Yazakar. A couple people. I ain't even checked the chat, man. Most High Christ. Oh, that's his red. Hold up. Shalom, sis. Shalom. Raven Murtaza. Big ups Murtaza. He did a lot of work when Commander Hana was down here. Who else in the chat? Awawaya, see you out. Shalom, Yabashim Shukta. Most High Christ. Let's get some more of this real quick, though, before I go into the class here. Gotta share the screen. I know I already know y'all familiar with the story, but they didn't chase the boy down. Chased him down, murdered him, shot him in the back. Horrible sight, horrible thing. But let me share this to the screen one time. Oh, boy. South Carolina. I got a headline here. Yeah. Store owner found not guilty of killing 14-year-old boy in South Carolina. A South Carolina jury on Monday found a store owner not guilty of murder in the 2023 shooting of a black 14-year-old. The jury returned the verdict for, I think it's pronounced Chicky Rick Child, 61, who is Asian, shot Cyrus Carmack Belton in the back after chasing him from his convenience store in Columbia. He maintained he acted to defend his son. Now, the optics of all of this is clear as day. The young man was unalived. That is not self-defense. Shooting somebody in the back is not self-defense. He is defenseless because his back is turned. Why shoot? If his back is turned, how can he be attacking you? The whole case is garbage and trash. Everybody's up in arms, which they should be. Everybody should be upset. Of course. You got this outside entity here chasing down one of ours and brutally unaliving him. They took the steps to chase him down almost 200 yards. And there's a lot of theories out there talking about it was the son that did it. So there's a lot of theories out there. But what I do know that this is not justice. This is not justice. This is why we gotta sever ourselves from this age in society. Now everybody want to talk about boycott. We should have been going to our own. But here comes Martin Luther King Day, and we all got to come along. And we was always going to each other before. Even as late as early as the 80s and the early 90s, it was thriving black and brown businesses that we would go to. With this disenfranchising that the oppressor has done, and the theories that the Christian church pushes, destroyed our economy, destroyed the black business, destroyed the black dollar. You understand? Imagine them so-called civil rights leaders today talking about sitting in doing a sit-in to some racist restaurant. You look at these cats like they out of their goddamn mind. Why is that? Because it's obviously some BS. It's obviously some trash. You understand? They unalived this brother, man. It was unjust. It was wrong, and there's no justice have been given. So What should you do, black man? You want to protest? You want to boycott? Do that. But what we should really focus on, and dude, we shouldn't be celebrating 4th of July coming up. We shouldn't be celebrating, our oppressors' holidays. You understand? We shouldn't be doing none of that. We should be following our own customs, our own laws, our own morals. And we can find that in the Bible. Because black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, we are, in fact, the true biblical Jews of the Bible, son. You understand? That's us. That's our true nature. That's our nationality. That's the truth. But we following after these other leaders, and now look at us. Now we ain't got the corner store no more. Right? Now a young man is dead here. Whose blood is the hands on? The blood is on the hands of our leadership. You understand? Now, all throughout TikTok today, I've been saying, "Oh, we gotta find this black beauty store, this black beauty store." I haven't seen nobody talking about the. I haven't seen nobody talking about the Chinese restaurants. I haven't seen a lot of that at all, or the Chinese corner stores at all. But it's been mainly salon shops or what have you, salons and nail techs or what have you. But you really want to put an end to this suffering, if we really want to put an end to being oppressed, then we ought to follow God rather than these false leaders. Because we had our own nail techs. We had our own corner stores, our own liquor stores. We had everything. We were self-sufficient. But the problem was we wasn't getting our fair share of loans and resources. But out of the leadership at that time saying, well, if we all come together, now look at us. Now look at us. Let's get a little bit more of that article. Then I'm gonna get ready for the class. The killing set waves of anguish and grief through the African American community, which it did in Richland County, where nearly half the population is black. After the verdict was read, sobs and cries of distress could be heard coming from Carmen Belton's family, seated in the gallery. Child sat silently, frozen, before slowly bowing his head onto his interlocked hands. Defense lawyer Jack Swerling said they're very pleased with the verdict, but also feel for Carmack Belton's family. My heart goes out to them, but 14-year-old kids should not be roaming the streets of Columbia or South Carolina with semi-automatic pistol loaded and ready to fire. Prosecutors and the defense lawyer in closing arguments painted different pictures of the 2023 shooting. Prosecutors said child acted in anger because he wrongfully thought the teen had stolen 4 bottles of water from the store. The defense lawyer said child fired to defend his son only after the teen pointed a gun at him. Shot him in his back, though. Okay. This case is not about a shoplifter. This case is about a father who sees a gun pointed at his son and had to make a decision. I'm gonna end it on that. We all know that's some crap. Stop sharing. But But you know what's gonna happen though, y'all? We'll get distracted by the next thing on our feed though. The next thing on your feed is gonna be some silly dance or some silly comedy, which is fine. You can be entertained, but you know, we can never forget the crimes that are committed against us. And all the boycott gonna end in a week or two, or because it's more convenient to go get your cheap earrings from the beauty salon store that's closest to you, or your sewing sister, or it's a line at the black owned nail tech, so you want to get in and out. You know, have a backbone, man. Have some integrity. You understand? Have some integrity, and we'll teach you how to have some integrity here in the Israelite School of UPK. We can come on up in here. We'll tell you how to really fight against this system, fight against the oppressor. You understand? And soon, you know, we're going to see what real justice looks like on the face of this entire earth. Everything's already in motion. The things that we bring it out on the show in these classes, you know, our liberation is coming. Our liberation is coming. But until then, you get up in here in the Israelite School of UPK and learn how to be perfect and be perfect. You understand? So we can get delivered up out of this madness, man. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commander Gianna. We've been teaching this truth since 1969. That the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are infected true biblical Jews of the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? This is the One West News Desk. We will catch us here every Monday night. You understand? Lord allow, weather permit. And with that, Shalom Israel.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're